Sabrina Ionescu's participation and benefits in Unrivaled. Sabrina Ionescu joined the Unrivaled League as a late addition, despite having prior commitments. Her schedule included a trip to Paris with Nike and participation in the All-Star Weekend during the league's mid-season break, managing not to miss any matches due to these obligations. Recently, it was announced by Phantom BC and the league that Ionescu will be concluding her season in Unrivaled. She is scheduled to embark on Nike's Asian Tour before returning to New York to prepare for the upcoming WNBA season. Although her time in Unrivaled was cut short, her involvement was still advantageous. Unlike many WNBA players who choose not to play overseas during the off-season, Ionescu usually focuses on self-training. Therefore, being a part of Unrivaled allowed her to practice with her WNBA peers and opponents, as well as benefit from the league's training infrastructure. Reflecting on her experience, Ionescu expressed her excitement at witnessing personal growth in her gameplay during her time at Unrivaled. She highlighted the opportunity to improve specific aspects of her performance and compete against top players, emphasizing the valuable learning experience it presented. She also acknowledged the benefits of the competitive environment in Miami provided by Unrivaled, contrasting it with the usual challenge of finding suitable practice partners during the off-season. Engaging with elite players in the league allowed her to evaluate her skills and track their progression. Unrivaled, primarily a developmental league, aims to facilitate skill enhancement for participants. While fan engagement and financial appeal are essential, the league's fundamental objective is player development. Ionescu's partial involvement may disappoint fans momentarily, but it is anticipated to contribute significantly to her performance in the upcoming WNBA season by enriching her gameplay capabilities. Laces BC dominates injury list. Laces BC has encountered significant challenges due to injuries during this season in Unrivaled. Jackie Young, Alyssa Thomas, and Kate Martin have all been sidelined due to various injuries, affecting the team's performance. Even the addition of Betnijah Laney Hamilton as a replacement player was short-lived, as she also suffered a season-ending injury. In comparison, players like Marina Mabrey and Jewel Lloyd from other teams faced injury setbacks as well. Mabrey was absent for the first half of the season due to a calf injury sustained during training camp, while Lloyd has been managing an injury along the way. Recently, Alyssa Thomas returned to the court for only her second game post-injury, under a restricted playing time. Despite a close 1-point loss to Vinyl, Thomas expressed positivity about her condition, acknowledging the challenges of adjusting to a minute restriction, but emphasizing the team's effort to harmonize play after being apart for a month. Despite the hurdles posed by injuries affecting their performance after a strong start to the season, Laces remains optimistic about qualifying for the Unrivaled playoffs. Head coach Andrew Wade displayed confidence in the team's abilities, appreciating the players' hard work in striving towards recovery and unity on the court. While injuries are a common occurrence in sports, the impact on players' availability for the upcoming WNBA season raises concerns. With the WNBA draft scheduled for April 14th and training camp following on April 27th, players will have a limited window for recuperation and preparation, potentially affecting their participation in WNBA games. Transparency and communication between players, coaches, teams, and WNBA organizations is crucial. Instances like Ionescu and Laney Hamilton's absence prompted the New York Liberty to issue public statements regarding their players' conditions. With merely 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first-round playoff contest of the Phoenix Mercury versus the Minnesota Lynx, Diana Taurasi assumed her place on the sideline. It seemed appropriate, given the trajectory of her career, that she would foul out of the game, receiving a technical foul in the process. Departing amidst a standing ovation from the opposition team and their supporters, Taurasi has been a persistent challenge and source of amusement for the Lynx over the years. However, as chants of "one more year" reverberated through the arena in what might have been Taurasi's final professional appearance, the significance of the moment was palpable. Recognized as one of the finest players in the history of the sport and the top scorer in WNBA history, Taurasi appeared to briefly absorb the moment before swiftly transitioning back into competitor mode, providing guidance to her teammates from the bench. Although it was too late at that juncture, with the Lynx commanding a significant lead, buoyed by an exceptional performance from Nafisa Collier, all she could do was delay an uncertain future. Following the match, an eager audience anticipated Taurasi's presence alongside her coach and teammates at the post-game press conference podium, but she was conspicuous by her absence. A final opportunity to postpone the impending future. However, the future had already beckoned earlier in the year. As the new year commenced, the usual period when Taurasi would dedicate herself to training for the upcoming WNBA season, it became apparent that her off-season regimen no longer enabled her to outpace Father Time. Leading a different life now, even outside the realm of basketball, she found contentment and fulfillment. "I simply did not have the motivation," Taurasi acknowledged in an interview with Time magazine. "That was the moment I realized it was time to bid farewell." In a sudden turn of events, the career of arguably the most exceptional female basketball player of all time drew to a close. Her list of achievements is unparalleled: 6 Olympic gold medals, 6 EuroLeague championships, 3 WNBA titles, and 3 NCAA championships. While the individual accolades are numerous beyond enumeration, she undoubtedly stands as one of the most decorated athletes in history. Presently, there is a rush to bestow greatness upon certain individuals prematurely, labeling them as prodigies before they have substantiated their worth. Yet Taurasi, known as DT, has rightfully earned every accolade attributed to her. While there may come a day when Taurasi's individual records are surpassed, whether in points scored, championships won, or MVP awards achieved, nobody will replicate her comprehensive repertoire. Diana Taurasi will persist as a distinctive figure in the realm of women's basketball. It is truly challenging to envision the WNBA landscape without the presence of Diana Taurasi. Over the course of the WNBA's 28-year history, Taurasi has been a prominent figure for 2 decades. Upon emerging in the scene, Taurasi defied the expectations that America had for female athletes at the time, which typically catered to a certain image of the bright and pleasant all-American girl, a mold that Sue Bird embodied impeccably. However, Taurasi opted to authentically be herself, a fiercely competitive, self-assured, and expressive player who cherished victories and despised defeats with equal intensity. In doing so, she reshaped the perception of what defined a female athlete. Taurasi appeared unfazed by assuming the role of the on-court provocateur. Whilst off the court, she is regarded as kind and giving. She embraced the chorus of boos that greeted her at opposing venues. Diana Taurasi left no one unscathed, not even referees, whom she would confront personally after disagreeing with a call, not the arena doors, and certainly not her fellow WNBA peers. She consistently ranks as the top trash talker in surveys among WNBA players. Following her retirement announcement, numerous WNBA players have shared anecdotes of their initiation into the league, often involving encounters with Taurasi. Connecticut Sun guard Natasha Cloud reminisced about her rookie year when she was tasked with defending Taurasi. In a swift transition play, Taurasi received the ball, attempted a three-point shot, and inadvertently hit Cloud while drawing a foul that the referees called on Cloud, leaving her on the ground, shielding her face. Similarly, Lacia Clarendon, a former WNBA player, found themselves matched up against Taurasi early in their career. Engaging Clarendon in conversation before the inbound pass, Taurasi exhibited charm and charisma, but swiftly shifted to a competitive mode once the game resumed, as Clarendon recollected Taurasi's strategic move to draw a foul by hooking their arm. While the news of Taurasi's retirement did not come as a complete shock, the Phoenix Mercury honored their esteemed franchise player during her final home game of the season with a tribute titled, "If This Is It." Although Taurasi maintained a quiet demeanor following the season's conclusion, the off-season transfers of longtime Phoenix figures Brittany Griner to Atlanta and Sophie Cunningham to Indiana strongly indicated Taurasi's imminent retirement. It was inconceivable for Griner and Cunningham to depart the Mercury if Taurasi had intentions of returning to the court. It is perhaps appropriate that Taurasi opts to exit the spotlight at this juncture, without much fanfare. Taurasi's desire for greatness over fame is evident. Any renown that accompanied her greatness was accepted reluctantly. Her off-seasons in Turkey and Russia served not only to enhance her skills and earnings, but also to relish the obscurity bestowed by living in a foreign land. Despite her annual Final Four appearances with Susan Bird, Taurasi avoids seeking the limelight. She preferred that her prowess on the court, rather than her personal life, be the focus of attention. A prime illustration of this was her disclosure of her relationship with former teammate Penny Taylor in 2017, announcing her homosexuality, long-term relationship, and marriage in one revelation, indicating her aversion to prolonged attention. Taurasi stated at the time, "That was our special thing. We never kept it secret. We just didn't want that to be an issue ever. We knew when we walked through those doors, it was time to put work in and be professional." In the current climate of women's basketball, characterized by heightened scrutiny of players and their personas, the notion of someone averse to the spotlight is challenging to envision. With the focus shifting from the game itself, Taurasi exits the stage. Through her contributions, she leaves the sport significantly improved from when she started. Her departure paves the way for a new generation of female players who have long admired her example. While they may not replicate her achievements, they can forever aspire to her greatness and emulate her unapologetic approach.